What's up, ballers? And let me hear you holler in the comments. Welcome back to Hoops Variety Hour with your hosts, Jacob and Cole.
Today, we're introducing a new segment called Funky Flash Fridays, the show where we have just a minute to discuss and debate various topics ranging from the NBA to anime and everything in between. Ideally, we would love to have the topics be powered by you, the fans. However, using YouTube's advanced analytics, we realized something very shocking. We don't have any fans.
'Tis true.
So, Gandhi once said that you must be the change you want to see in the world. If you want your question in the next Funky Flash Fridays, then drop a comment below or follow us at Our Hoops and tag us with your questions.
That's at Our Hoops on Twitter, and that's HOUR, not our.
With the hashtag The Hoops Variety Hour.
All right, now to get into our first segment, we will be pulling our questions from the Wizard Mug.
Of course. As everyone was expecting.
All right, let's get started. Cole, would you like to do the honors?
Of course. The inaugural question. And I have the 1 minute timer right here, so don't worry about our integrity on that. All right, Jacob. When will the Atlanta Hawks break out? When will they make the playoffs?
The Atlanta Hawks will be making the playoffs next year.
Next year?
Next year.
That's ridiculous.
False.
Half their
Next
players are
year.
under 20. Kevin Huerter sucks.
Half their players are under 20. This is my segment. Get out of here. The Hawks are making the playoffs next year. Trae Young has had a breakout year. He's shown that he can be the all-star of that team. They just got Clint Capella, who is going to be an absolute force on that team. Trae Young is going to be shooting threes, like he's going to be shooting the lights out of the ball, and Clint Capella is just going to be inside yanking down the boards. That's all they need him for. Clint Capella's rebounds are going to be through the roof. Kevin Huerter, Trae Young, and their other players are just going to be shooting the lights out of the ball, and this team makes the playoffs next year.
Everyone knows rebounding is the most important thing in the NBA right now.
That's my answer.
All
All right,
moving on.
Cole, on to you. All right, first question for Cole. Who are the top 5 Smash Bros. Characters in Smash Ultimate? Ready, go.
All right. So you got Pikachu at number 1. That's the obvious one. I'm going to put Palutena and Joker at 2 and 3 in no particular order. I think they're quite strong. I think it's pretty hard to argue that they're right at the top there. Ooh, 4 and 5. That's tough. That's very tough, actually. I think you got to throw in Peach. I think Peach's punish game is disgusting. Probably one of the better punish games in the whole game. Her float cancel mechanic lets her compensate for a lot of what would otherwise be her weaknesses. I think it's pretty silly the things you're able to do with Peach. And even despite her forward air getting nerfed, it's just such a forward air.
This is true.
Who would be number 5?
10 seconds left.
I have 10 seconds left?
Yes.
Number 5 is Little Mac. Moving on.
The ZSS snub.
Oh, it's definitely not ZSS. But we can talk about that later. Jacob, how do the Knicks become good? Not great, not even making the playoffs. Just a product on the basketball court that is not embarrassing to the fans.
This is a tough question, folks.
Oh, yes.
All right. The Knicks are really going to struggle to become good. This franchise has been terrible for years on end. The last time I can remember when they were good was back when they had Chauncey Billups, and before that, Patrick Ewing. However, they have some very, very interesting young prospects, including RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. I think these 3 players are going to be the stalwarts of this team going forward, and they're really going to need to hope and rely on them to, expand their repertoire of moves and become the guys moving forward. I think Mitchell Robinson has a ton of talent. I think he's a really, really promising center, and I think RJ Barrett has an insanely high ceiling.
Great rebounders too, right?
Exactly. But I think they may need to move Julius Randle and capitalize in free agency as soon as someone maybe becomes available. They also have Kevin Knox, who is another great young player. I think what they need to do is load up on the draft picks, continue their process, and sign another big name free agent. That's how they get good.
By the way, Shulk is number 5.
Oh. All right.
Shush.
On to Cole's next question. Who is your favorite Seahawks player?
My favorite Seahawks player, this is an easy one, and he's a newer player, and he's going to be the best player in the Seahawks, and not just that, he will be the MVP of the league at least 1 year in his career. His name is DK.
Bold.
His name is DK Metcalf. His name is DK Metcalf.
The Gaines.
The leader of the DK crew. He is a beast. That's pretty much it. If anyone can't tell, I'm a huge fan of football. Moving on. I don't need a minute to answer that question.
Let me just speak to that real quick because I'm the resident football fan here and Seahawks fan. DK Metcalf, great pickup for the Seahawks. Got him really late in the second round. Shouldn't have fallen that far. Great swoop.
Honestly, I don't watch football that much, but I just saw a picture of him, and then I saw where we took him, and I was like,
Excuse me?
okay, we take those.
All right.
Now, Jacob, what are your thoughts on Ice Cube's The Big Three League?
Well, I think the Big Three is a great league. I think it's really, really fun to watch as players get older and, retire. Instead of just giving up basketball as a career, they can continue to play in a league that is maybe more their pace. And I think it's really fun to watch players like, Vince Carter is retiring soon. Maybe Vince Carter will move to the Big Three. I really wanted to see
Vince Carter would actually
I really wanted to see Kobe go there before the accident, but that's okay.
That's Kobe.
But that's the thing. As players get older, they retire, they clearly still have something left in the tank, as you can see with Vince Carter. They may not be able to hang in the NBA with all these young athletic players coming in, but they still have just fun moves to watch. They're really fun and entertaining. You get all these players that maybe are future Hall of Famers, that instead of just ending their career, they can go on and play in a retirement league, but it's also really fun to watch. They've also introduced a 4-point shot, which I think is really interesting, and the NBA may want to consider that in the future.
Who knows, dude? Maybe Snoop Dogg will join the Big Three.
That would be really fun. Maybe a little Dickie too. All right. Now on to Cole's last question to wrap up our segment. Who is the most promising team on the rise in the NBA?
That's a really tough one. You have a lot of options to choose from. You have the Hawks, who are not going to make the playoffs next year. You have the Pelicans, who have an all-star under 24. You have Zion Williamson, who is turning 20.
Something like that.
You have Lonzo.
Crazy good,
You have
crazy
Lonzo, who's like 23, 24, on the come up. A bunch of really good veterans that are gonna push them forward on contract for a little while longer, with the cap flexibility to sign new, better pieces around them. You have other teams like the Grizzlies, who really broke out this year with unexpected contributions from people like Brandon Clark, and with a lot of untapped potential in their players that are already, like, they're really highly touted, talented players like John Morant and your boy, the center. What's his name?
Their favorites?
No.
Jackson Hayes.
No, this is not the Pelicans, the Grizzlies.
Oh no.
Anyways, it's the Pelicans. It's just, there's too much talent on that team for them not to be the future of the NBA.
All right. And this wraps up our first segment of Funky Flash Fridays.
Jaren Jackson.
Thanks for tuning in.